Welcome everybody to FANDOMversity. I know it's been a long time since you've seen a video from us. We actually had a sci-fi horror video that unfortunately is lost somewhere in cyberspace. Thank you, Zoom. So we're hoping to get that back soon. um, but today we're doing the top 5 paranormal horror movies / franchises based on the poll put out by us about a month ago. It's been a while. It's been sitting there for a while. And so we're gonna, but before we get started, we have a little giveaway, and Rebecca's gonna talk about it.
This giveaway is for 2 little alien plushies. It's got a Ripley and an alien. I want you to tell me the name of the artist and the paintings that inspired the look of the chestburster. So all the information I'm giving to you, if you watch Memory, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So Michael will tell you how to do all that stuff to get me the information and stuff. But one person gets both plushies.
Ooh. Well, basically, you can post your answer below.
Yeah.
But you got to give me contact information. So post your answer with an email address, or you can privately email us. I'll put the email down in the description below. So if you want to just shoot us an email, that would probably be the best way. And then I'll forward your answer to Rebecca to see if it's right or not.
Yeah.
If you are a FANDOMversity admin, you are ineligible of entering the contest. All right.
Thank
God I bought 2 of each.
So number 5 is spawned an entire franchise and spinoffs is The Conjuring.
The Conjuring to me is one of the best, more modern horrors. I think the original Conjuring was back in like 2003 or 2000. I think in 2013. So it's not exactly real old or real classic. But a lot of and we've spoken before, a lot of the more modern horrors, they either go for just gore fest or blood fest or not true horror. This is one of the first modern stuff that like you watch a movie and it's like, this is downright creepy. Like some creepy stuff is going on in this movie. So yeah, for that fact, I really enjoy it, and it's one of my favorite more modern horror series.
Yeah, and the interviews, if you ever get a chance to listen to Lorraine Warren interview about The Conjuring, it's really cool to hear, how her talking about, the things that really happened in the movie and the things that didn't happen, So it's something worth. I'll try and find the interview so you can post it below. But if you can find it, they're really, really interesting.
Yeah, and of course, the movie is a little embellished, but from what I hear, it was probably being in the positions they were in real life is probably really scary if you think about it.
Lorraine says she never fell through the floor into the basement like the actress fell into the basement down through the floor. She goes, "I didn't do that. That never happened." So, but yeah, I found it very interesting. Very like, wow, that really happened.
Right.
Yeah, that always adds like, for instance, The Exorcism, Emily Rose, like different movies like that actually do happen, and you're like, damn, like because you kind of imagine yourself like if you're in that position, like yeah, this is some messed up stuff. So
yeah, and I really did enjoy the film, and I didn't like the sequels at all or any of the spinoffs like The Nun. And I have not watched the Spanish film. I forget what it's called.
La Llorona. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either, but I know a bunch of my Spanish friends have seen it, and they all said like across the board, like yeah, it's not the same as what we grew up with. It's not the same as the story. So I was kind of bummed to hear that because the first Conjuring stayed so close to the actual story. I mean, of course, Hollywood has to do their little razzle dazzle and embellishments and whatnot, but for it to be like so left field from what the actual story is, it kind of bummed me out. So
yeah, you think
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack.
And we're back. So anyways, yeah, the creators of The Conjuring started their formula off with true stories with a little bit embellishment, and now they've kind of gone away from that, and they're using their own creativity to create these stories based off of stories, and I don't think they're doing as good of a job as they started, and I think they should go back to that formula.
Yeah, I mean, you got something from the first Conjuring that was so close to what actually happened, and then you have something like Laranya it's an entire culture that has told the story again and again throughout the centuries, and then it's completely different. So, it's one thing to stick exactly to a story and then kind of do a little bit different versus taking something that is based off of them being nothing alike. So I think they need to start sticking closer to what the actual stories are.
They probably
Agreed.
got these directors that think they know better and want to amp it up and totally destroy it, which I don't understand. There's so many. I mean, if you listen to any of these horror story podcasts and stuff, or people just telling their stories or whatnot, there's so many good ghost stories and so many good horror stories out there that could actually be taken into a movie, know? And why they don't tap into that oil, wealth of information is beyond me, but it's just, there's so much out there. Why do you want to take something that people actually know what happens and then just blow it up?
Yeah, then just completely change
destroy it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Agreed. And that's all I have to say about that. Any other things to say about The Conjuring? All right,
No,
so
pretty much everything covered.
we're gonna move on to
Lorraine.
Oh,
Yeah.
is she passed?
Oh yeah, she's passed.
Number 4 has spawned an entire franchise, a remake that's also in the same universe, supposedly, a television show, and multiple video games, starring the B-movie, the greatest B-movie actor of all time, Bruce Campbell, The Evil Dead.
Yes, The Evil Dead. This is one of my top 4 horror movies.
Yeah, started Sam Raimi's career.
Mm-hmm. It starts with Aliens, Poltergeist, The Evil Dead, and The Exorcist. Those are my top 4. And those are all old movies, too. But The Evil Dead, let me tell you, when I first saw this movie, it was a sleepover at what used to be a cousin. Now the divorce happened. But anyway, I was a kid, and I remember watching this movie. And you watch it now, you're just like, how did you get scared over that crap? Oh my gosh. I was like, this the whole time with blankets and everything. And it didn't help that her stupid sister, after the movie was over, went outside. They had this huge picture window in their living room. She was like scratching down the window going, and I was like, nope, I'm out. I tore down that hallway. I knocked down some statue. I slept in the parents' bedroom.
Oh, man.
I haven't any part of that living room anymore. Because after all that cellar scenes and that was scary. I was terrified. And I don't think I watched that movie again until I was in my 20s.
That's awesome.
That was not awesome. I got the You watch something terrifying when you're this like 10, 11, and then have somebody scratching down the window going, "Mommy!"
Right.
No, that's That's horrifying. It's enough to make you crazy.
Yeah. The first Evil Dead was good. Again, Bruce Campbell, like Mike said, he's probably the best B actor movie ever. I mean, most of the stuff that he does is B movies, and he's an incredible actor, and everybody knows from it. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It started out the first Evil Dead was very horror-ish. You know, tried to scare you, tried to bring the creep factor. Then from then on, it became almost like kind of more comical and over the top and stuff like that. But yeah, that first Evil Dead that movie was creepy in parts.
And by the time we're around to Ash versus Evil Dead, it's straight up like action comedy.
Right.
The TV show.
I love the movie so much. I have a cat named Ash. So.
Evil Dead 1 was very low budget. Sam Raimi scraping the bottom of the barrel with money, hiring no names. Really took a leap there, and it was a sleeper hit. People loved it, and it spawned a huge franchise that's still continuing to this day. Even though the show got canceled, the people are still really looking forward to trying to create more content. And you know, the remake came out a few years ago, but they're saying that's in the same universe.
Yeah, it's almost, the remake is almost a carbon copy of the first one, just except for, again, like I spoke about, more modern horror. It has some of the same creep factor, but a lot gorier, a lot more violent, a lot, you know. At the end of the remake, like, it's raining down blood, and then she puts a chainsaw on the creature, and it's just like gushing blood and blood and blood and blood.
Wasn't it raining blood and she wasn't covered in blood or something? There was a part in there where something was happening and she wasn't bloody, and I was like, I don't remember. I saw it once. I didn't like it.
But yeah, huge hit, spawned a huge franchise, and that original had that classic scary suspense. It was
that ruined me as a kid.
So I guess we're gonna move on to Rebecca's favorite movie of all time, Ghost Ship #3.
The best part about that movie is 45 minutes into it when I turned it off. Yeah, I like the best part of the movie. It made me smile. It made me cry. No, it didn't make me cry. It made me smile. I hate that movie. That movie was stupid. And why it's in the top 3, you people have no taste.
Get your stuff together.
Get your stuff together.
Yeah, the only part of that movie that even stuck with me was the very beginning when they get the
wire.
The wire.
Yeah, when they get,
and they're all standing there going,
and they all stand there, and then they fall apart. Which, that to me, like, Final Destination has done it, and they did a good job with it. That movie was the only good thing about the whole movie, you know.
Then it just went.
For being a ghost ship, quote unquote ghost ship, and for like having multiple whole crews killed off and stuff like that, it really only shows like one ghost on the ship throughout the whole thing. So I'm like,
it was more of a heist. It was like a heist film, right? Like,
it was part heist film, and then like one spirit is kind of leading people to their death. Like, but it shows in the previous backstories of hundreds of people, pretty much whole shiploads of people dying, and then you see one spirit. Like, what?
Very underwhelming.
You saw the spirit of the little girl. You saw the spirit of the singer.
Yeah.
I don't know who else you saw the spirit of because I didn't watch it. And it took me 2 days to watch 45 minutes of that movie. 2 days. I turned it off and go, I'm not going back.
It was so scary. It took you 2 days.
I went back and I'm like, I can't do this. So.
Yeah, I think those are the only two. Yeah, the little girl and then the singer, because the singer kind of leads all the guys to their death.
Why the singer is doing that? Because was there a backstory about the singer? Was she corrupt? I mean, why is she doing this? I mean,
well, it shows later in the movie that after the garage scene, which happens technically after the first massacre on the ship. The first massacre on the ship had to deal with something like military type deal. I can't remember if it was the Nazis or not, but there was some like, you know, military thing, and then they pretty much just open fire to the ship, like gun down everybody on the ship, and then the singer gets killed because she's involved with one of the officers, and a hook comes down and catches her in the jaw and kills the singer. It's weird. It's
Are
all
we
over
talking
the
about the
place.
same movie? Because
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
and then get
Yes,
and get
it is all
sliced
yes,
in half.
Yes.
How does she die? Is she sliced in half or is she hooked?
She's hooked.
Does she
Yeah,
have
she's
9
hooked.
lives? Is she a cat?
Yeah.
I mean, does she
yeah,
come
like I
back
said-
together? And does,
The
all
movie
right,
itself,
now
it's all over the
you're making
place.
my decision to turn this movie off. Even better.
I was so tempted today to hit that little X mark next to the voting.
I
just
could
to
have
be
done
like,
it.
"Yeah,
I
no
would have
one
done
voted
it
for it."
right when I saw it up there because
No one voted
I'm
for
looking
it.
at all these people who voted for it. I'm like, you people?
You're the same people that just kept suggesting movies that had nothing to do with ghosts too.
You
Oh
need
yeah.
to get
yeah.
out. And you, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but dude, really, I can
Yeah.
suggest some movies that are amazing.
I had someone yesterday said, should have added REC.
And that has nothing to do with ghosts.
That's like rabies and
yeah, different. Yeah.
every day was another person like, add this movie to the list. I'm like, did you read the directions?
Oh, I even
I've got-
told them. I told them, and listen, if you can't read, I'll be happy to voice message it to you. Do you need me to say it?
Oh man, we're gonna get
And
so many
then
thumbs
they're
downs
like,
on this video.
geez, calm down. I'm like, I have
That's
some
all right.
glasses, you know.
Oh, whew. Unsubscribe.
Sorry, you can cut that out if you need to.
No,
no, that's staying in. That's staying in.
Oh, okay. Well, let's move on from that hot garbage.
From
Number
now on, any more hot garbage that comes in, I'm taking it off so you can just. It's gone. Not dealing with stupid people's stupid movie choices.
We're gonna move on to number 2,
Good choice.
which for its time was considered extremely frightening.
Ooh,
I think
God.
it still holds up to today,
Mhm.
in terms of suspense and horror, and it also kind of started that genre of these types of movies, The Exorcist.
Man, I went into YouTube and I found fan reactions of when the actual movie came out.
Really, those still exist?
Yes, fan reactions. Oh my gosh. And they showed it. This movie was sold out. I mean, it was everywhere sold out. And there was lines around the buildings of them trying to get us. People were terrified.
Protesting.
This movie
People were protesting
in
the movie.
1973. This was, I mean, these people aren't as desensitized as we are now. So, I mean, the movie is creepy. We can all agree the movie's freaking creepy.
Yes.
And I don't.
Iconic.
Did they cut the crab walk scene down the steps out? Was that the like the deleted scenes or something? Because I remember
No.
Reagan walking down the steps, or was that a part 2 or something that I saw?
I think that was because I think the first Exorcist was all in the bedroom. I think it all kind of stayed just.
I remember a party, and I know it was Reagan coming down the steps. I guess this is when her mother first found out she was creepy possessed. Do you know what I'm talking about? And she walks down like backwards, and she's like, doing that.
By the time
And then she goes back up, and she's like, "I'm sorry, my daughter's not having a great night." I'm like,
I
should
remember
say
that.
So. You remember that? Okay.
I don't
losing my mind.
It might have been cut originally, but by the time my generation got around to watching The Exorcist, it was all
added back
perfected.
in.
Yeah.
So it was like a deleted scene. But these people were fainting. They were terrified. They were walking out of the theater. They're like, I'm not going back in. You know, this one lady's like, my friend's in there, and I'm terrified. I don't want to leave her alone. I'm like, dude, it's a movie.
Well, plus on top of the horror, I heard that this was the first movie that ever had like really over the top foul language in it. So like
The
that
cross
bet.
scene.
Yeah, that cross scene when they're going back and forth and like she's
Well, when
calling.
she's like the.
Right,
You know what I'm talking
right,
about.
right,
Yeah.
right, and then like calling like saying cunt and saying
Oh
all
my gosh,
whatever
yeah.
like that
Oh
was
yeah, that was
just
unheard of.
yeah, that was absolutely unheard of. So it's like you have the horror, creepy aspects that's never happened of it. You have the graphic language and the different scenes that has never happened before. So it's not just for horror. It's just for like completely out there movies. Period. It was all of it. Yeah.
For its time, this is and will always be an amazing movie to me, anyway.
I'm surprised the MPAA even allowed it at the time.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure that was a fight
Right.
to allow that in theaters. And I do remember hearing about how the Catholic Church protested the film. And
Yep.
There was a priest. And I don't think he got very much of an interview. I don't know. This was like a 3-minute scene, and if you want the footage, I'll show it to you. I'll give you the link for it. But I can't remember what he said, but there was a priest saying it was horrible, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
I forgot all about that scene with the cross and and I let my kids watch it, and I was like,
wait.
No! Cover your eyes, because I totally spaced on like, okay, this is 73. It's not going to be that bad. I mean, some words, yeah. I mean, my kids were like teenagers at the time, so it wasn't like I'm letting a 4-year-old or something watch this.
Right.
And I'm like, holy crap! And her friend was there. I was like, shh, no, your mama likes you to watch. I was like, we'll just skip that scene. But yeah, it was an amazing movie.
I honestly think it should have been number 1 on this list, in my opinion. But
Evil Dead, Conjuring, and Exorcist should have been. Well, Evil Dead and The Exorcist should have been up there, way more than they are.
And The Exorcist started a whole subgenre, like exorcism movies. Like there's tons of them.
Right.
Demon possession, all that stuff. It created that whole genre of horror that didn't exist before.
Yeah.
It's part of American culture. Everyone knows what The Exorcist is. I've never met a person.
If you don't know what The Exorcist is, then you live under a rock in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Right. So, yay.
Got this horn sticking out of my head now.
Anyone see the TV show at all?
No.
Me neither. Yeah, there's an Exorcist TV show. I don't know if it's still going on. It's fairly recent, but it's the same story. Like it's those characters.
I cut the cord, so I don't know what channel it is. So,
well, something to maybe check out sometime. I don't know if it's any good.
That.
And so that's The Exorcist, and that brings us to number 1. It's some people's favorite. Obviously, it got voted for number 1. It's a very interesting premise. 13 Ghosts.
It's a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
It's not number 1. I mean, it's still good though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's not I would say it's not number 1 worthy. It's number like 3 worthy, but it's not number 1 worthy. But it is a good show. I've seen it quite a few times, and the 13 Ghosts. The house is a machine, and what they say, built by the devil, powered by the dead. Uncle Cyrus gathered up those, trapped him in his house, in his glass house, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Everything was glass. And I guess once the brother inherited it and came in with his kids, Nanny and the ghost hunter, trapped themselves in, and away went the machine and started releasing ghosts. And they're supposed to open the devil's the eye to hell or something, a portal to hell or something.
Right.
It's got, the backstory of the ghosts were really cool. I gotta say that was really cool.
What I enjoyed about it is the creativity behind the way the ghosts look and act. That's pretty creative.
Yeah, they all are very unique. Like a lot of the issues with ghosts horror movies is you can run into like they all kind of look the same, they all kind of act the same, but it's like 13 completely different entities, you know, all in this house. So they did a good job there. But this is actually this is one movie that I watch every Halloween time. Ever since the first time I watched it, I think it's held up well over the years. One of the craziest scenes for me is when the business assistant,
The attorney?
the attorney, when he meets the naked girl and he backs
The
up,
princess?
and then
Yeah.
he meets the princess, and then he's backing up, and then shunk, out comes a door and cuts him in half, like laterally, like that.
Sideways.
Sideways,
slides
like boom,
down
and
the
then he
door.
slides down, and like the grasses break. I'm just like, I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, what? What did I just see? Because cutting people in half across the waist, that happens in all kind of different horror and graphic movies, but to see someone get it like that, I was just like,
that's a sharp blast to go through some skull.
whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have much to say about it other than what I already said.
It's a good show, but yeah. If you haven't read the backstory in the 13 Ghosts, I recommend that you do. Or if you haven't seen it, just go watch it. It's a really good flip.
Yep.
I'm thinking I need to watch it again. It's been probably since the year it came out for me.
Yeah.
So that is our top 5. Due to time, I don't think we're gonna roll into any honorable mentions this time.
Poltergeist.
Sorry with you guys.
I'll throw that out there.
Yeah,
right there.
Poltergeist.
That should have been. That's what I was shooting for. Ghost Ship to get out of there so I can get Poltergeist in there because it's my top 4. So.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Horrible sequel.
But the movie itself is
classic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pop culture, just like Exorcist.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, our honorable mention, we did have one, Poltergeist, which should have been in the top 5, but unfortunately we got that garbage of Ghost Ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and give it a like and a subscribe, and join us on FANDOMversity to let us know what kind of future videos you want to watch. Facebook.com/group/FANDOMversityTNTM. And that's all.
All right, bye guys.